All right, well, welcome to class today. Today, as we're approaching the new year, um, feel compelled to talk about what is yoga. So, yoga, when we talk about it in, America and just like in popular culture, we see the commercials and people in their yoga pants. Um, in a, in certain we might make jokes about it, but we have this idea of it being like an exercise class. And really, what yoga is a much more than that. It is it's a practice, a practice of living, and much of what we practice in our culture today, a lot of it is based on a text written by Patanjali about 2,000 years ago, the Yoga Sutras, which is a text where he basically compiled the practices in a written I would venture to say handbook, but it's a very concise, and the sutras are also translated as or thought of as a string of pearls. So each sutra has a is a very concise and significant meaning. So we often break it down in many ways, like we do with other spiritual texts, like the Bible, where we take a chapter or a verse in that sense and study it. So with the Yoga Sutras, it's taken in that way. But in general, the whole practice of yoga, based on the Yoga Sutras written by Patanjali, there are 8 limbs. Uh, so broken down into 8 processes or 8 practices. The first being observances that we take towards the environment and others, observances towards ourselves, practices, um, breath, the restraint and expansion of the breath. And these are all, and as I speak about these 8 limbs, these are practices that we do. Um, Asana, which are the physical postures, which is what many of us think about when we think about yoga, the asana practices. Um, Withdrawal of the senses, then concentration, meditation, and finally, complete integration, which brings me to the word yoga and the translation, which is taken from the root word yuj in Sanskrit, which means to yoke. And when we think about yoke as uh, a contraption that brings 2 animals together, or the process of bringing animals together, this is what the practices of yoga does. It's bringing together in union. So ultimately, what we are doing is uh, what we're thinking about in yoga is the whole process of bringing together in union our this individual sense of ourselves with um, a greater sense of who we are and connecting with something that is greater than this individual idea of ourselves, and coming together with others and realizing that separation is really the root cause of suffering if we think about separation um, in every sense from others, from the universe, from this world. So the practice and process of yoga is to realize the whole and our integration with that. So this is um, what the whole process is about and doing, and so that is what we think about when we're practicing yoga. Good morning, Sharon. So today, let's um, think about that as we're approaching the new year. Let's settle in and come to our mats. Uh, Come to a comfortable seated position and bring ourselves here to this space, noticing the senses, first being attuned and connected with awareness to sounds, light, touch, and whether it's sounds that are far away or nearby, sensations that are light, the air, our clothing, other sensations, gravity, as we feel our bodies heavy and settling into the earth, deeper sensations within the body, those that are pleasant or unpleasant, just meeting them with awareness, observing without reacting. We might observe even processes that are going on within the body, the heartbeat, realizing so much that's going on, so much activity within, even as we are still and connecting with a sense of stillness. Taste, even as we observe these senses, allowing our awareness to be expansive, as we go in and bringing awareness to the breath. We'll begin with a pranayama exercise, which is the third limb of yoga. I will practice alternate nostril breathing. So taking the right hand and the peace fingers, press them to the palm, and with the pinky and the ring finger, we'll use that to occlude the left nostril, and with the thumb, we'll use that to occlude the right nostril. So holding the hand to get ready, take a nice deep breath to prepare. Inhale and exhale. And now occlude the right nostril with the thumb and inhale through the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold both nostrils. Release and switch. And exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right nostril. 2, 3, 4. Switch. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale to the left. 2, 3, 4. Switch. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Switch. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. And release. Now with an even, steady breath, we'll practice another pranayama exercise. And with this one, we forcefully exhale, and this is a kriya or clearing breath. With here, we forcefully push with the abdominal muscles to release the breath, and then passively just allow the lungs to allow the air to come back in. And we'll do this with, this is a little interesting to do while I can't see you, but we're going to go with a rhythm here. But I'll demonstrate initially. So pressing with the abdomen. And so here you see you're forcefully pushing the air out, and then just passively allowing it to come in without any effort. So inhale to prepare, exhale, inhale, and exhale. So keeping that same and beginning to slow it down. And release. So if you were practicing that, kudos to you. If it's your first time, it's kind of funny when you initially start, because it's not a natural uh, way of breathing that we do. But the pranayama exercises in yoga, it's all about this practice of restraint and expansion. And as we practice it, we see how it impacts the body and the mind, how connected the breath is. Um, so now let's begin our asana practice. Uh, and so as we do this, we will move into samavriti breathing, which is an even inhale and exhale. Um, so I'll start with a count here. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now maintaining that same steady, even